Hey guys, welcome to the Real Deal video blog. And this week I want to talk to you about new things and new experiences and going out in the world and trying new things and maybe learning a little bit along the way. So as human beings, pretty much everything about us is based on learning and experience. We come into the world as babies who really don't know anything. I mean, have you tried talking to a baby? You're probably not gonna get much out of that interaction. And eventually we grow into adults who have all these crazy skills and abilities to communicate. Like, just think about how insane it is that we're able to talk to each other and read and write. And those are only the basic things that a little kid can learn to do. Think about the skills that your average adult has. It's absolutely crazy how much human beings learn in their life. But something changes as we get older. We start to learn less and we start to have fewer new experiences. As a kid, everything's new, everything's exciting, and then you get older and it starts to be kind of the same old thing, and it gets to the point where we don't really change much from year to year. And that's okay, that's totally normal. Growth is a line, and eventually it slows down, eventually it stops. We finish growing for the most part, and that's completely normal, like I said. But when it comes to addiction, it can be a real problem. If you have any experience with addiction, you're probably familiar with this, but addiction pretty much kills any learning or growth that's going on in your life. In a way, people get stuck wherever they are at the time that they start using drugs. Some people say, a person gets stuck at the age they were at whenever they started using, and that's kind of true. You keep on living when you're on drugs, so it's not completely true, but it can almost be worse than getting stuck, because it's not just having development arrested. It's that instead of not learning anything at all, you tend to learn bad things. You tend to learn bad habits and bad adaptations, and maybe if it's been long enough, forget some of the good stuff, until eventually you've got a whole host of new problems on your hands. And that's why it's really, really naive to look at addiction as just a drug or alcohol problem. And this is something that I say over and over and over. The drugs and alcohol are a huge part, for sure. That is the center of the issue, is this substance abuse that causes all these consequences. But just as important to the recovery process is having that set of adaptations that make normal people able to handle life and have skills and function and pay bills and work a job and keep the house clean. And these are really basic things for a lot of people, but for someone who's gone through addiction, it can be really tough to pick this stuff back up. Addicts and those who are newly sober often lack some or even all of these adaptations, and I've got news for you. You're gonna need them if you want to stay sober. It's pretty hard to stay sober if you're struggling with the very basics of life. It's hard to stay happy, and why would you even want to be in recovery if things just aren't working? You might as well go back to using at that point, right? So how do you get these skills? How do you adapt to life and become a normal person? And the good news is it's completely possible. A lot of people have done it totally successfully. It's all about learning and new experiences. As an adult, it's really, really easy to just stick to what you know, but that's really not enough in recovery. You have to put yourself out there. You have to learn how to survive, how to stay sober, obviously, how to have healthy relationships, how to have fun, how to do the basics. Whatever you're lacking, you've got to find a way to figure that out. And pretty much any life skill can be learned, and the best way to learn is simply by doing it. It's a lesson that's free, and sometimes it can be a little bit painful, but ultimately it's really, really valuable. The moral of this story is, don't worry about those scary situations or the unknowns or getting out of your comfort zone, because these are things that you need to do and that you will not regret doing. And the discomfort is a good thing because it means you're learning and you're growing.